Let's talk about something that trips up people more than anything else in this whole manifestation journey. The obsession with getting it right. Every week, I see comments or messages like, did I mess up my manifestation? Did I say the wrong affirmation? Did I lose my SP because I reacted? And I just want to say, how can you mess up something that's already finished? How can you do it wrong when you're literally the one writing the script? The only way to believe you made a mistake is to forget that you're the author. You start identifying as the character who's confused instead of the consciousness creating the entire play. And that's what we're going to go into a little bit more in this video. Before I get into that, if you are new to me, hi, I am Alchemistic. I post content on manifestation. If you'd like to work with me personally, links to my services is in the description. Let's go ahead and get into this. This isn't blasphemy. This is identity. If God is perfect and you are God, then you are perfection itself. And that's not metaphorical. That's literal. You're not a reflection of God. You are the source refracted through individuality. You are not made in God's image like some sculpted clay figure. You are God's image, meaning the total expression of God's mind, body, and reality projected as form. Man made in God's image doesn't mean your hair, your face, or your human shell. It means the whole experience. The body, the mind, the reality you perceive is the holographic image of God knowing itself. Every single thing in your world, from your reflection to your relationships, is you in form. It's not separate. It's not God and man. It's God as man. Let's break this down biblically because Jesus didn't whisper about this. He declared it. John 10:34. Is it not written in your law? I said ye are gods. He didn't say you might be. He said you are. And he was quoting Psalms 82:6. I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But notice the next part. But ye shall die like men, meaning the only reason you experience limitation is because you think you are just human. John 14:10, I am in the Father, and the Father in me. That's not poetic mysticism. That's metaphysical fact. There is no separation between creator and creation. There's only the self expressing itself as form. And since God is perfect and you are that God, every single movement, moment, and mistake is also perfect. Because even mistakes are divinely orchestrated expressions of self-awareness unfolding. Perfection doesn't mean the absence of flaws. It means the inclusion of everything into divine harmony. You see, perfection isn't clean lines and angelic lighting. It's the absolute knowing that nothing could ever be out of place. When people say everything happens for a reason, they're subconsciously acknowledging perfection. They just don't realize they're the reason. When the Bible says all things work together for good to them that love God, Romans 8:28, it's not saying good things happen to church people. It's saying when you recognize yourself as God, love itself, then everything collapses into good because it was all you moving the pieces the whole time. So even the parts you label as bad, ugly, or unnecessary are the perfection of awareness sharpening itself. Let's go down the rabbit hole for a second. And I have a whole video on how Alice in Wonderland literally portrays the manifestation journey of learning yourself as God. I have a whole video about that on my channel if you want to check it out. But I want to kind of go over that a little bit more. Remember when the caterpillar looks at Alice and asks, "Who are you?" That wasn't small talk. That was the entire metaphysical question of existence. She doesn't know yet. She keeps changing size, shape, perspective, and every time she tries to define herself, it shifts again. That's exactly what we do when we identify as the little me in the 3D. We're constantly changing form, trying to fit into definitions, forgetting we're the dreamer of the dream. And the Cheshire Cat gives her the greatest manifestation advice ever. It doesn't much matter which way you go. You're sure to get somewhere if only you walk long enough. Once the identity is chosen, every path leads to the same destination. You can walk backwards, sideways, or blindfolded. It'll still end up right. Because your consciousness determines the outcome, not your actions. You can take the wrong turn, delay your video uploads, or think you fumbled the SP. And yet, if you still embody the identity of the one who has it, all roads collapse into the same result. Let's connect some modern dots. So one of my members inside my school community, the Alchemysts, made such a brilliant connection the other day. She said my teaching on identity reminded her of an episode of Victorious. Now, admittedly, I never really watched Victorious. I think I maybe saw part of one episode, but I looked this up and I listened to what she said and I'm like, oh, wow, that's so profound. So in that episode that she was referring to, Tori had an acting assignment involving a bird. There wasn't any guidance. No one could tell her what to do, just that prompt, do something with a bird. Every time she tried and asked her teacher, did I do it right? He said, no, do it again. Finally, after putting everything into it, she said, no, I did amazing. That was perfect. My bird scene was the best. And that was the point of the whole assignment, to know within herself that what she did was right and perfect. The only time she was wrong was when she doubted herself and asked if it was right. That's the same exact thing I teach. You have to know you're correct, not hope, not check, not wait for validation. Just know. Because when you're God, everything you do is perfection expressing itself. In Doctor Strange, when Strange watches millions of timelines, he sees that only one version works. But the truth is, they all work. The others just collapse differently depending on who he is being in that moment. Perfection isn't finding the right path. It's being the right identity. In The Matrix, Neo doesn't train his way to perfection. He stops trying to dodge bullets and remember he's the one. And the moment he knows, the bullets stop mid-air. That's divine awareness recognizing itself. Effort dissolves. Perfection takes over. In Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, Evelyn tries to fix every version of her life until she realizes all timelines are her. Once she embraces that, the chaos becomes coherence. That's what happens when you stop rejecting pieces of yourself. You realize the mess was the masterpiece. The reason people can't see perfection is because it doesn't always look holy. It looks like delay. It looks like loss. It looks like, why isn't this working? But even that confusion is sacred. It's the mask that perfection wears when you're mid-transformation. It's like a painting in progress. The brushstrokes look chaotic until you step back. Then you see the divine order. So when your 3D looks messy, that's not imperfection. That's the part of God that loves contrast. Because the more contrast, the greater the revelation when you realize it was all you all along. I'm going to bring this down to something you can live with. Whenever you catch yourself doubting, say, if I'm God, then this too is perfect. That's it. It's not an affirmation. It's a correction of awareness. Stop trying to make perfection happen and instead see it. You don't need to force flow. You just need to stop resisting the fact that you are it. Ask yourself, what would a perfect being do right now? Would you rest? Would you eat? Would you record that video even if it's not perfect? Because perfection isn't about polish. It's about presence. You don't perfect something by editing it. You perfect it by being in the full awareness that it already is. If you think you've fallen out of alignment, remember this. Perfection doesn't have days off. You can't fall out of something that you are. You can only temporarily identify as something smaller and believe you've lost it. But even that identification is part of the perfection, because that moment of forgetfulness makes the remembering even more profound. Like Jesus on the cross saying, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Even that moment, divine awareness experiencing human separation was perfect, because resurrection couldn't exist without it. So even in your lowest points, the perfection hasn't left. You just momentarily stepped into a character that can't see it. You can't make a wrong turn into a dream that you control. You're dreaming it all. So even your detours were written into the script by you, for you. Every failure just redirects you to your identity. Every delay builds evidence that your knowing was the truth all along. Just like in Alice in Wonderland, Alice didn't find her way home by walking correctly. She found it by remembering who she was. So stop judging your steps. The path is holy because you're the one walking it. Be ye therefore perfect. That wasn't a goal. It was a reminder, a wake-up call to remember. You are the awareness through which perfection perceives itself. You can't screw this up. You can only pretend you did. And even that pretending is perfect. Everything in your world, your relationships, your finances, your health, is simply God, aka you, reflecting back your current knowing of self. So if something feels off, you don't fix it. You remember. You realign by knowing, if I am God, then this too is divine order unfolding. Because perfection isn't linear, it's holographic. Every pixel contains the whole. Every step contains the destination. So don't chase perfection. Don't measure it. Don't try to live up to it. Just realize you're breathing it. You are it. You are God experiencing the art of being human, pretending to find perfection. Just remember that you were the masterpiece the entire time. And when you really get that, every path you take, every choice you make, every moment you live will prove itself perfect because you are. So guys, that's the video. I hope this resonated for you. Actually, it's my knowing that it did. So I want you to comment below which part of this video was most profound for you. Where was the aha moment? Where did it click? And again, if you would like to work with me personally, links to my services is in the description. As I mentioned earlier about the member on my school community, if you're interested in my school community, it's called the Alchemists. I post members' content over there. We go through wins and breakthroughs, and I do live group coaching. After this video, I will have a members only video that I'm going to record that's going to be an extension of this. So that will be posted on my members channel here on YouTube as well as on the school. Totally up to you which one you'd like to see it on. But regardless, I know no matter what, you've made shifts from this video. And I know no matter what, whoever is watching my videos, day or night, you're about to have the best day or night of your life. And I already know that that's the case for you. Take care.